joints starting at our ankles and move up to our head, our neck.
Could you text that to me? Because I already put it in.
Okay,
I'll put it in the notes.
I'll text it later after we're done. All
Wow.
righty, we going?
Yes.
Good morning, everybody. This is Mindful Movement. It happens every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm Chris Kissel, and I am your host, and I'm your instructor. But the goal for this class is to move your body mindfully, to learn how to contract certain muscles so you can avoid tight muscles. So if you have chronic tightness in your body, we're going to find the muscles that aren't working, and we're going to address that, and we're going to let those muscles lengthen on their own by learning how to make the other muscles strong. So as we go through these classes each week, you can pick up little moves that your body needs. It's like, oh my gosh, this just loosened up my hamstrings. Now my hamstrings aren't tight anymore. So I want to keep doing that. Or this got my ankle mobility going. So I want to keep doing that because ankle mobility translates all up to the hips. If we don't have ankle mobility, we could have problems in our hips, our low back, our neck, our shoulders, no telling where it's going to show up. So today I'm going to ask you to grab a yoga block and a towel. And we're going to start with the ankles. So when you're ready, I want you to come down to the floor on your back. And we will just roll down. I love to roll down to the floor one vertebrae at a time. So just pull in those abdominals, make them tight. Let your spine just round down into the floor slowly as you can. And once you're there, just enjoy. All right, so here's what we're going to do with our ankles. What I want you to do is take your left knee and bring it towards your chest, just where you're comfortable, and grab hold of each side of the knee, okay? We don't want to block this front part of the knee because this part of the leg is going to be rotating too with our ankle. So we've got two bones here that need to rotate with our ankle. They are the ones that anchor the ankle. So we're just going to use little guardrails right here. And what I want you to do right here is just start with a gentle point and flex. Now, when you're pointing and flexing, I don't want you to think about your toes doing this. I want you to think about your foot and your ankle doing this. So when you point, I want you to think of the back of your heel coming toward your calf. So put your mind in the back of your heel and bring the back of your heel towards your calf and let your toes go along with the ride. Now, when we flex, we're going to think about bringing the top of our foot towards our shin. So go ahead and flex and think about bringing the top of the foot towards the shin. And point, bringing the heel toward your calf. Good. Top of the foot toward your shin and heel toward your calf. In doing this, we're letting the toes go along for the ride. Keep flexing and pointing. And the toes are not guiding the movement. The ankle joint is guiding the movement. And that ankle joint has muscles that come all the way up to your knee. So that's why we're just bracing our knee on the side and we're pointing and flexing. Point and flex. Good job. Let's do that on the other side. So remember, we just got guardrails to hold this knee in place, and we're not restricting the motion below the knee. So just go ahead and bring your heel to your calf, then bring the top of the foot to your shin. Bring the heel to the calf, and bring the top of the foot to the shin. The toes are happy just to go along for the ride. Let's bring the heel to the calf and the top of the foot to the shin. Let's do that a couple more times. Point and flex. Point and flex. So we're really mindful of what is going on in this ankle joint. And one side might be a little stiffer than the other. That's the one you really want to focus on. All right, we have to have movement in our ankles so we don't pick up stress anywhere else in our body. So let's go back to that left side and let's do some circles. So you're just going to circle the foot around circle it around. Now the toes will get a little more involved in this because they're going to kind of guide the motion, and we do want the toes to move. So you keep circling, circling. Now I want you to reverse that circle. It has to go both ways. When you go with your foot out and around, you're working the muscles on the outside of your shin and calf area. And when you go in and around, you're working the muscles on the inside there. All right, let's do the other leg. Let's get these ankles going. Go ahead and circle out and around, working up the outside of the leg. You might get some pops and cracks. And you can do this in bed first thing in the morning. Get your body ready to move. Go ahead and circle, circle. So before your feet even hit the floor, you already started your warm up. That's awesome. All right. Okay. So now let's see how our hamstrings are doing, how tight our hamstrings are. What I want you to do is take your right leg long and bring and straighten your left leg and bring it up in the air just to where it can comfortably go. Okay. This is where we need our towel. So we're going to grab our towel and we're going to wrap it around the back of our thigh. Now, instead of our normally you would want to, inclination is like, let's stretch this hamstring and bring it to our chest. No, let's don't do that. Okay, so we're going to the stopping point. So just find your point where your body says, okay, that's enough. Now from here, I want you to bend your knee. You're pulling on the towel. You're bending your knee. You're pushing your leg into the towel. Now you're flexing your foot and you're straightening your leg. Good. Bend your knee, pushing your knee in or your leg into the towel. Flex your foot, straighten your leg. So we're actually getting the quadricep on the front of the leg to work. So the hamstring on the back of the leg can loosen up because it says, oh, that's the job for the quadricep on the front of the leg to bring my leg up in the air. And if it's working, I can straighten out. Okay, now let's see where we are. So go ahead and straighten your leg and lift it up. Can you get it any farther? I know I can. Let's do the other side. So monitor where you get on this first round. So when we get done, you can go back and check it. So straighten the leg, your towel's behind your leg. You're going to lift it up. This leg doesn't want to go as high. I'm not quite even here. So I'm just going to stop right here. I'm pushing my leg into the towel. I'm flexing my foot to engage my quad. And I'm going to bend and bring my heel towards the back of my leg. And I'm going to straighten. But I'm not moving the thigh closer to me. I'm pushing it away from me. Bend and straighten. Bend and extend. Bend and extend. The whole time we're pushing our leg into the towel. One more time. Bend and extend. Now just go ahead and lower it down and bring it back up and see if it got any looser. Well, I'm way up here now. That's awesome. All right. So now let's talk about what's going on in the hips. So we're going to make it easier to bring our hip into our chest, and we're going to loosen up that low back. So now what we want to do is we want to straighten our right leg. We're bringing our left knee up again, kind of like we just did, but let it come up toward your chest and stop where it wants to stop. Then you're going to make a stop with your hand. Your hand's going to be a wall. You're going to push your knee into your hand and your hand into your knee. So go ahead and push, 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 push. And as we do this push, your sits bone is going to tilt up just slightly. You might not even notice it, but you're going to get a little tilt there. This is how our walk is initiated, from the hips, from this tilt, lifting the leg up, but it comes from that sits bone area. It comes from the hips, and just release it. Okay, let's do that again. So bring your knee to your chest and see if it gets a little closer. We're going to block our knee with our hand, and we're going to push our knee into our hand as we push our hand into our knee. Getting a little bicep work here too. Push, push, push. Keep breathing, folks. Keep breathing. We're doing isometrics here. You never want to hold your breath when we're doing isometrics. Good job. Take it down. Go ahead and extend it long. And then bend it. Bringing it back up for one last time on this side. Bring it in. See if it's getting closer. Push your knee into your hand and your hand into your knee. In the old days, these were called calisthenics. Old Jack LaLanne used to do all this calisthenics, but I'll tell you what, he lived a long, strong life. And go ahead and take that down and extend it. Let's work on the right side. So bring your knee toward your chest and push your knee into your hand. Push, 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 push. Good job. Keep breathing. Get some nice intentional breaths in here. We need our oxygen. And take it down. Bring it back up. And give it a push, 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 push. Knee into hand, hand into knee. Great resistance here, great resistance. Keep pushing, and release. Go ahead and stretch it long for a sec. Nice. Let's do it one last time. Bring the knee towards the chest. It should be gliding a little closer to your chest. And push your knee into your hand and your hand into your knee. Push, 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 push. Awesome. This is another move that you can do before you get out of bed. All right. So we're going to work on the external rotation of our hip, or the outside of our hip, the ability for our leg to go away from our body. So what I want you to do is I want you to take your left ankle and place it on your right knee and just let it drop open where it can. Now we're going to take our towel and we're going to loop it through our thigh. Go ahead and hold on to it. Now what I want you to do, instead of what you might normally be comfortable doing, like bringing this up and stretching out that area, we're not going to stretch it. We're going to contract it. We're going to make it work. We're going to get that muscle moving. So what you're going to do is you're going to push your knee away from your body, push it into the towel as you move the knee away from the body. You're opening up this. So the knee's going away from you. You're pulling the towel towards you to get resistance into that towel. And I want you to hold it right there. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And then release. So we're opening up this hip. We're going to make this move looser. All right. So go where you can go, opening it up. Grab your towel. If you have like a yoga strap, this is what the yoga strap is perfect for, but we're just going with towels today. And go ahead and push your knee or your leg into the towel. And you're holding the towel and you're pulling back with the towel. So we are getting some little upper body strength this morning as well. But open up that back of that left hip. We're contracting it. We're making it strong. And then release it. We're going to do it one more time on this side. So drop it open where you can go. You might find you're opening up a lot easier now. Now push that knee open. Open it more into that towel. Good job. Good job. Use your strength. And once again, keep breathing. Keep breathing. All right. Let's do the other side. So go ahead. Take the right ankle on the left knee. Loop your towel through your leg. Open it up. Kind of monitor. Where is it now? Okay. We're going to see if we can get that a little more open by the end of this. So go ahead. Push your knee or your leg open into the towel. Open it up. Think about these muscles. I'll show you on the left side. On the back side of the body here, on the back side of your glute. These are shortening right here into your hip socket. That's what we're working on. We're contracting those muscles. We're making them shorter. We're making them work or asking them to work. And we're pushing that knee away, pushing it open into the towel and release. So by shortening these muscles that are creating these movements, instead of pushing on them and just letting those muscles that are supposed to create the movement just lay there and not do anything, we're actually making these muscles work so we don't have that tightness. So go ahead and push that knee away from your body. Push it away, push it away. This is just a great hip opener. And hold it, hold it, hold it. You're tightening up on the back side of that glute, the back side of the hip. And release. Good job. Let's do that one more time. So open it up, push your knee and your leg away from your body into the towel. You're pulling the towel back to you, pulling the towel back to you. And release. All right, you should have some good blood flow right through there. That's awesome. And just open that out. See how much looser that is. You've taught it how to work and how to open up. I'm going to grab our yoga block, grab your yoga block, put it between your knees, and we're going to roll back down. Hold on to that yoga block and work those muscles on the inside of your legs, your adductor muscles, excuse me. So you're going to be squeezing the inside of the legs. You're going to be using those adductor muscles. I want you to give this block a pretty good squeeze and just release and squeeze and release. Okay, so the next time we squeeze, we're going to lift our hips up to the ceiling. I want you to be mindful of where your hip bones are. I want you to squeeze your inside of your legs, but I also want you to squeeze the back side of your glutes together. Squeeze those butt cheeks together. And then we're going to lift these hip bones straight up to the ceiling. So you're going to squeeze the inside of your legs. You're going to squeeze your glutes. And then you're going to lift your hips up to the ceiling. Lift them up. Try to keep them even. Try to keep them steady. You're lifting these hip pointers up to the ceiling. Now, as we lower down, we want to keep them level, but keep that squeeze. Keep squeezing the legs. Keep squeezing the back of the hips, your glutes. Keep squeezing it. And then let it all release. Nice job. Let's do that again. Squeeze that yoga block with your legs. Get the inner thighs going. Squeeze your glutes together. Get those active. Lift those hip bones up to the ceiling. Lift them, lift them, lift them, lift them, lift them. Hold it. You're squeezing everything. Keep squeezing, keep squeezing, keep breathing, keep squeezing. Now see how level you can keep these hip bones as you lower down with control. You're still squeezing. You're lowering with control. You're lowering, 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 lowering. And release. Nice job. Let's do that one more time. Go ahead and squeeze the inner thighs. Squeeze the glutes so everything's contracted. And before you lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up. Those hip bones are going to the ceiling. The harder you squeeze, the higher they will get. Keep squeezing, keep squeezing. Now, lower it down. Just place your fingers right here on your hip bones. See if you can keep them level as you lower it down. With control. We are in control of our body. Good job. And release. Nice job. Nice job. Okay, we're going to take this yoga block. We're going to place it under our sacrum. Your sacrum is this bony part right here, right below your lower spine. We're not going to place it on our low back. We're going to place it right between our hips on that bony part. So our low back is nice and free. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring our knees up towards our chest. I want you to extend your legs up in the air. We've worked on getting those hamstrings nice and loose. We should be good to go. We know how to point and flex our feet because we're doing it with our heels and the top of our foot, right? So what I want you to do is point your feet. And I want you to take your legs out wide. Now I want you to flex your feet. And I want you to squeeze the insides of the legs together, just like we did when we had that yoga block between them. Point your feet. Open your legs out wide. You're good. Opening the legs out wide. You're using those muscles on the outside that we squeezed and tightened and strengthened. Now I want you to flex your feet. I want you to pull your legs back together like you're squishing a beach ball in between your legs. Go ahead and point your feet. Open your legs out wide. Now you're using the outside of these hips that we strengthened. Now you're going to flex your feet, bringing the top of the foot to your shin, and you're going to squeeze the insides of your legs together. Nice job. All right. Let's go over to hands and knees. Get a little bit of the spine working now. So we've got the ankles and the back of the legs and the hips all loosened up. Let's loosen up the spine. So what I want you to do is get into your nice tabletop position. And to have a strong table, you've got to have your hands right under your shoulders and your knees right under your hips. Now from here, go ahead and flatten your feet because we're going to be sending our hips back to our heels. What I want you to do is I want you to pull your chin to your chest. And as you do, I want you to round your low back up to the ceiling. So pull your navel into your spine like it has a string on it and it's coming up through your spine and somebody's pulling your navel up to the ceiling using that string. So you're really rounded. Your neck is rounded, your low back's rounded, your mid back's rounded, your shoulder blades are pulled apart. And now I want to reverse that. So I want you to gradually lift your chin, start looking up and let your belly drop. Just let it hang. And your tailbone is tilted up towards the ceiling. Let's do that again. Let's round. Chin goes to the chest as we round our spine up to the ceiling, pulling our navel in really tight, feeling our shoulder blades stretch apart from each other, coming around that back body, stretching apart. And then we're going to lift the chin and go ahead and feel your shoulder blades come back together. Let your belly drop and kind of squeeze your shoulder blades back together. Now, on this next move, we're going to change it up a bit. So listen carefully. We're going to round our spine to the ceiling, bringing our chin into our chest, rounding, rounding, rounding. Now I want you to hold that round spine as you push your hips back to your heels. Go back to your heels as far as you can. Once you're back there, I want you to bring your elbows to the mat. And then I want you to drop your chest towards your thigh, release your back, release that round, and then push your chest up through your arms into a mini cobra, lifting the chin, lifting the chest. All right, let's do that one more time. Rounding the back, pushing back, hips to heels, keeping the roundness, keeping the abs pulled in tight. Once you're back there, you can release your abs, you can lift your chin, bring your chest up through the center of your body. We're going to do a torso release now, a little torso twist in a child's pose. So what I want you to do is I want you to take your left hand and I want you to place it right under your chin. So it's right between your knees. It's right under kind of your breastbone right there. And from here, you can take this right arm and put it behind your back. So what I want you to do here is I want you to round back to your hips to heels towards a child's pose. You're coming down with your elbow. Now your elbow's locked in between your knees. So from here, I want you to stay in this rounded position, but I want you to rotate your right shoulder back. Think of the shoulder and the rib cage moving you and open up. And you've got that left arm as a little fulcrum to push against your leg so you have a little more power in this. So you're rotating your spine. We're giving it a little twist and we're coming back. Let's go ahead and bring it back and relax for a minute. And let's rotate and open it up. So think of the rib cage. The left side of the rib cage is moving towards your right thigh and your right shoulder is coming back. Nice. Let's come on up. We're gonna switch hands. And we're gonna do that to the other side. So I'm gonna turn around. And I'm putting my hand right under my breastbone. My right hand's down, my left hand's behind my back. I'm gonna come back to child's pose. My elbow is lodged between my knees. And from here, we're going to rotate open. My left shoulder is coming open, rotating back. My right rib cage is coming to my left thigh and come back. So think of yourself as moving your rib cage, not just your shoulders or your neck. Move that rib cage, move that rib cage. Open it up, and come on back. Good job. Let's go to a seated position to finish this up and kind of get up to our neck and shoulders. All right. Good job so far. Do you feel nice and loose? Hopefully at the end of this class, you feel like you've had a massage, your blood's flowing throughout your body and your joints are just nice and happy. Let's work on the shoulders and let's think of those shoulder blades again. So what I want you to do is think of your shoulder blades gliding up and down your back as we're lifting the shoulders up and down. We don't want to initiate the move from here. We want to initiate it from the shoulder blade. So put your mind in your shoulder blades and I want you to lift those shoulder blades up so your shoulders are coming up towards your ears. Once you're here, give it a nice squeeze. Let's tighten up those traps that usually get really tight, but we can go ahead and squeeze them. Flush out a little blood flow. And then I want you to push those shoulder blades. Think of those shoulder blades going down your back, towards your back pockets, towards your back body. Push them down, and we're getting a lot of nice space here through these traps. But think of the shoulder blades pushing down. There's all these muscles that run along our shoulder blades that move our shoulder blades. And if our shoulder blades can't move, go ahead and lift up. That's when we get the impingements and restrictions in our shoulder joint. So lift those shoulder blades up and then push them down, All right, there's two other ways these shoulder blades can move. They come apart, come out to the sides of your ribcage, and they squeeze together. Let's work on that before we finish up. So bring your hands in front of you, shoulder height, and I want you just to push your hands forward. You're rounding your shoulder blades around apart. You're bringing them as far apart from each other as you can. And then push your shoulders back and think of squeezing those shoulder blades together. Squeeze them towards your spine. Squeeze them towards your spine. Now push and open those shoulder blades apart. Open them up. Reach. Open up those shoulder blades. And then come back and squeeze those shoulder blades together. Let's do that one more time. Reach forward. Push. Just think of those shoulder blades moving. It's going to make the whole shoulder joint much happier. And then bring them back together. Squeeze them. Nice job. Let's just lift our arms up in the air. Take a nice breath in. Give me an exhale as you blow it out. Let's do that one more time. Hands come up. They bring together in the middle in prayer hands. Bring them down towards your chest as you exhale. And I want to say you did a great job. Have a great day. I hope you find yourself more mobile. I hope you picked up some moves that your body said, we need to do this. Let's do this every day instead of yanking on those tight muscles. Have a great day. I'll see you next Wednesday.